Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranche Vanarottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jayamudiraye Nastrapraye Swabhabdesu Nityam Bhagavadavase Vaya Bhagavate Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Today is the appearance of Lord Ram. So it's a very, very auspicious day. Very wonderful. I'd like to thank the organizer of this beautiful temple to invite me today and be here with you. And I hope to speak some sweet word in order to purify myself in remembrance of Lord Ram. And so we read from Srimad Bhagavatam. And third canto, chapter 26, text 18. What text is it? 19, okay. Text 19. Daivakshu bitadharminyam swasyam jano paropuman adatta viryan sasuta mahatattvam hiranmayam Daivakshu bitadharmeyam swasyam yono paropuman adatta viryam swasuta mahatattvam hiranmayam Daivakshu bitadharmeyam Swasyat yono paropuman adatta viryan sasuta mahatattvam hiranmayam Swasyam yono parapuman Adattaviryam shashuta Mahatattvam hiranmayam Daivakshu bitadharminyam Swasyam yono parapuman Adattaviryam shashuta Mahatattvam hiranmayam Matajis Daivakshu bitadharmanyam Sutta Mahatattvam Hiranmayam Daivat, by the destiny of the conditioned soul. Shubhita, agitated. Dharmanyam, whose equilibrium of the modes. Swasyam, his own. Yono, in the womb, material nature. Parapuman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Adatta, impregnated. Viryam, semen is internal potency. Sa, she, material nature. Asuta, delivered. Mahatattvam, the sum total of cosmic intelligence. Hiranmayam, known as Hiranmaya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. After the Supreme Personality of Godhead impregnates material nature with its internal potency, material nature delivers the sum total of the cosmic intelligence, which is known as Hiranmaya. This takes place in material nature when she is agitated by the destinations of the conditioned souls. Please repeat after me. After the Supreme Personality of Godhead impregnates material nature with its internal potency, material nature delivers the sum total of cosmic intelligence, which is known as Hiranmaya. This takes place in material nature when she is agitated by the destinations of the conditioned souls. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This impregnation of material nature is described in the Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, verse 3. Material nature, primal factor, is the Mahatattva, or breathing source of all varieties. This part of material nature, which is called Pradhana, as well as Brahman, is impregnated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and delivers variety of living entities. Material nature is in this connection is called Brahman because it is perverted reflection of spiritual nature. It is described in the Vishnu Purana that the living entity belongs to the spiritual nature. The potency of the Supreme Lord is spiritual, and the living entity, although they are called marginal potency, are also spiritual. If the living entity were not spiritual, this description of impregnation by the Supreme Lord would not be applicable. The Supreme Lord does not put his semen into that which is not spiritual, but is stated here that the Supreme Person puts his semen into material nature. This means that the living entities are spiritual by nature. After impregnation, material nature delivers all kinds of living entities, beginning from the greatest living creature, Lord Brahma, down to the insignificant ant in all variety of form. Bhagavad Gita 14.4. Material nature is clearly mentioned as Sarvayonisu. This means that all variety of species, demigods, human being, animal, bird and beast, whatever is manifested, material nature is the mother, and the Supreme Personal God is the seed-giving father. Generally, it is experienced that the father gives life to the child, but the mother gives its body. Although the seed of life is given by the father, the body develops within the womb of the mother. Similarly, The spiritual living entities are impregnated into the womb of material nature, but the body being supplied by material nature takes on many different species of form of life. The theory that the symptoms of life are manifested by the interaction of the 24 material elements is not supported here. The living force comes directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is completely spiritual. Therefore, no material scientific advancement can produce life. The living force comes from the spiritual world and has nothing to do with the interaction of material elements. I read the translation again. After the Supreme Personality of God impregnates material nature with its internal potency, material nature delivers the sum total of a cosmic intelligence, which is known as Iran Maya. This takes place in material nature when she is agitated by the destination of the conditioned souls. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Nidamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namah Vishnupada Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasvata Desatarine Vancha Kalpa Garubhyas Chakripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhatta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Actually, they give me a different slogan to speak today, but doesn't matter. That's nice. That slogan was talking about Ramachandra, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. We can still talk about Ramachandra also in the end a little bit. So, but this is very beautiful slogan for us to understand. His Holiness Bhanuswami was explaining this impregnation happened through the desire of the Lord. The Lord actually has no contact with material nature, but simply by his desire, Mahavishnu glance into material nature, and all the living entity manifests according to their desire and karma. So, because the Lord is always in the spiritual world, whether in Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan enjoying his pastimes, so he doesn't need to interact with material nature. Of course, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Ambaja Pratapita, I am the seed-giving father of all living entity. And how many living entity we know? 8,400,000 different species. Now, the scientists, they haven't figured out all 8 million of them. So, I think they're behind schedule. But this is what the Shastra say, and therefore we accept that. There are 400,000 humans, or human-like species. When we look in the night in the sky, when I was a child, I remember always, I look in the sky and I was thinking, beautiful. Why God created all the stars? And when you ask the teacher, the grandfather, they cannot give any answer. They think, oh, well, because it's beautiful, because we don't know, you have to have faith. But now we know from the scriptures that in all this planet, there's life. Just by observation, when we travel in different parts of the world, we see there is life everywhere. We go even in the middle of the desert, there's some cactus, some scorpions, some snake. So in the water, there's so many thousands of fishes. In the sky, there's so many birds. In the earth, there's so many plants. So we see nothing but life, sprouting and, emerging from the creation of nature. So very nice, Srila Prabhupada is explaining how the seed is given by the father, but the mother gives the body. So similarly, material nature makes this arrangement. But why the Lord is making arrangement? Somebody asked the other day a question to Maharaj, why we are suffering in the material world? Why God is so cruel? But the thing is that God is not cruel. God is our Father, and He wants us to be happy. But we want to be separated from God, and we want to enjoy ourselves independently from the Lord. So the Lord makes an arrangement. Okay, here is the material world. Here you can think yourself whatever you like, and here you can try to enjoy. But then when you're tired and you want to come back to me, my door is always open. When you start to inquire about the absolute truth, atato brahma jigyasa, it's like after millions of lifetimes, the living entity start to think, what is this? Why I'm suffering? Why I'm becoming old? Why we have to die? So then at the moment, the living entity start his spiritual journey to find out. Of course, some demoniac people think that I am the enjoyer, this material world is meant, I am the center of the universe, I am God. Or they think, this material world is full of suffering, let's go to another planet. No, we want to go to Mars. People think they went to the moon. Prabhupada said they never went to the moon. But people say, oh, but I saw in television, black and white. No, they never went to the moon. In fact, there is a small documentary which somebody has done about the 3 astronauts, the first people that went to the moon, Armstrong and the other 2. And this person is observing and speaking to them, and they look like kind of disappointed. And when he went there with the Bible and asked them, can you please put your hand on the Bible and said that you went to the moon, they all refused. And one even punched him in the face. He said, leave me alone. And all of them, they quit the NASA. So maybe it was a big scam, engineered by the NASA, and somebody say, oh, you are a conspirator, But Prabhupada said, and I went to the moon. And also this person goes and went to the NASA and say, okay, can you give us the data which you took? Because there is Van Allen belt around the Earth. There is a protective shield which you have to go through to the spaceship. And now the scientists say that you cannot go through that because all the instruments will melt. So how did you guys go there? So can you share some? Oh, we lost everything. What? You lost the most important thing. You went to the moon. You lost all the tape. You lost all the document. You lost all the data. Yeah, we lost it. So then the scientists ask, okay, how did you go through there? No, we don't know. So it looks a little funny and fishy. Maybe, yeah, I believe in Prabhupada. They never went to the moon. But now they say we should go to Mars. So it is the same desire of the living entity to overtake and exploit material nature. Even many, many thousands years ago, there was a king. His name was Trishanku. And he wanted to go to heaven by his own body. So he went to different sages and he said, can you please send me to heaven? And everybody said, look, yes, you can go. Krishna described in the Bhagavad Gita, that if you worship the demigod, then you leave your body and with the soul, you take another body and you go there. He said, no, I want to go with this body. And they said, it's not possible, So he went through different sages. And I think he went to Vishwamitra and he went to different sages, but everybody turned him down. So then Vishwamitra said, okay, I can send you, I can perform austerity, I can perform sanjagya, and I will send you there with the same body. And he did it. So Trishanku went all the way up there in the heavenly planet, but he could not enter because the chokidar or the guard stopped him and said, hey, where are you going? You stink, dirty human. You cannot enter here in this place. This is the heavenly planet. He said, but, he sent me. He said, no way, you cannot enter. Go back. So he's going back. again come back to earth. And Vishwamitra says, no, I'll send you back again. He chants a mantra. Again, he's going up. And then they say, no, wait, go back. So again, he goes back. He goes up and down 100 times. In the end, he says, okay, I don't want to go anywhere. Leave me alone. He's going up and down. He's tired of going up and down. So Vishwamitra say, okay, I will create one heavenly planet for you, separate planet. I will perform austerity. And then all the demigods come and tell him, this is not proper. Why you create another heavenly planet, another Indra, and all the demigods? It's not proper, So like that, the desire of the living entity, we don't want to mention the names, but the people want to go to Mars, and they're promising also, in another 10 years, you can buy the ticket now, you give us $5 million, we'll put you in a spaceship, and we'll send you there, then we'll create one bubble where you can breathe, and you can live there, maybe we'll grow vegetable. What? This is totally a dream. We cannot live in this planet peacefully. We're fighting. There's a war. Always, for the last thousands of years, there's been war in this planet, fighting like cat and dogs for some possession of some land and some wealth or some this and border. So how can you go to the heavenly planet unless you're qualified? So this is going on in the material world. Dukalayama Saswatam. Welcome to the material world. You want to enjoy? You can try. But in the end, you're defeated. It doesn't matter how rich we are. It doesn't matter how powerful we are. It doesn't matter what position we have. We are only influenced by eternal time. We all become old and we all die. So the idea of this material world, Prabhupada explained, this is like a prison house. Now, why we are sent to prison house is because we did something wrong. It's to reform our consciousness that maybe stealing is not good. And then if you become correct yourself when you come out of the prison, then you think, okay, I should not do the same mistake. Unfortunately now that people go to jail and they become more expert. They get trained to steal better or they invent a new way. So it's very difficult. Of course, some people feel like, okay, I've been so many years in jail, it's very nice, jail is beautiful. And I have my friends, they give me food, I have a nice library, I have internet, there is a gym, there's a swimming pool, it depends which jail you are. If you are in Sweden or in Norway, you can even go outside of the jail and work every day, and then you can come back in the night and sleep there. It's like a hotel, So it's pretty cool. Of course, if you are in Pakistan or India or Bangladesh jail, man, forget about it. You sleep in a place like this with another 200 people, and it's very miserable. But, so some people think that, I'm very happy here. Why you're disturbing me? Why you come with this book? Why you come with this mantra? I am happy. I have a nice family. I have a nice job. I have a nice car. And yes, sir, Jiv Jago. One day you're going to become old and you're going to die. No, but the scientists, they're discovering new medicine, maybe cryogenic. They can put you inside a box of ice, keep your body, and then find out the solution after 100 years and wake up again. And so this is all big illusion. So this material world is supposed to be a reformatory place where we learn not to make mistakes again. So what is our mistake? We want to be independent from the Supreme Lord. So some very intelligent scientists say the proof of God is self-evident. Wherever we see, we can understand that there is a designer for this material world. Everything is designed in a particular way. When we observe the plants, for example, there are two leaves this way, two leaves that way, so the sun, they can capture the sun and the energy. We can see the galaxy is shaped in a particular way, the consciousness is shaped in a particular way. Of course, there is a very ancient mathematician, Fibonacci, which calculates that inside the pine cone, inside the sunflower, there's some numbers, when you count everything. So there is a designer. It's not everything happened like the scientists say, what Big Bang happened millions of years ago, and the molecules assembled together, and they create life. No way, it doesn't make sense. So I always give this example to my friend. I say, tomorrow let's go to the Ferrari company and we put a big bomb, and let's explode the Ferrari company, and a new car will come out. You say, you crazy? Well, this is what the scientists say. One big explosion came, and then we came out of that. What? And all the species of life, and all the plants, and all the food, and all the birds, and all the fish. Doesn't make sense. There is a designer, supreme designer. There is God, Krishna. So He designed everything according to the desire of the living entity. If somebody would like to surf all life, then you become a dolphin or become a shark, I don't know. But Krishna can give that body. Okay, you like to be so much in the water, okay, you become a fish. If somebody like to fly so much, okay, you become a bird. Somebody like to eat all kind of stuff, then you become a pig. So there are variety of choice, 8,400,000 different species. We can go to the supermarket and say, okay, maybe I like. So desire of the living entity creates our body. And the suffering comes along with that. Because why we are suffering? It's like somebody wake up in a jail in the morning, and he doesn't remember anything. But the night before he was drunk, and he ended up in a pub fighting and destroying the pub. The police came and put him in jail. He wake up in the morning and say, why I'm here? Well, you were in there, you make a mess. And that's why you're punished. But he said, I don't remember. It doesn't matter what you remember or not, still you will be punished. So it's the same thing, is that we wake up in this material body and we don't know our previous activity, but we have a karma with us and desire, and according to that we perform activity. Now if we are fortunate to come in contact with the devotee. What is the famous slogan from Chaitanya Charitamrita? You remember? Anybody remember? Come on, you have been studying Bhakti Shastri. Brahmanda Brahmate Gana Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasad Bhai Bhakti Lata Bij. So if we are fortunate to meet the devotees of the Lord who give us some prasadam, or give us some book, or we hear the kirtan, or we come to the temple, take darshan, a beautiful deity, then the seed of devotional life is planted in our heart. Now, whether we want to put the water and give the sun and make the seed grow, it's our choice. But Brahmanda Brahmite, the living entity, travels through millions of universe constantly. There is no time that we do not exist, because as Srila Prabhupada explained, we are part and parcel of that Supreme Soul. And the soul cannot be annihilated, cannot be dry, cannot be killed, cannot be cut, cannot be extinguished. It's eternal. So, the fact that we don't remember our previous life, Bhanu Maharaj explained that actually is because of the mercy of the Lord. Because if we would remember all the nonsense we did from previous life, we'd become crazy. So that's also, Krishna says, knowledge comes from me, remembrance comes from me, forgetful also comes from me. Just like when children they fall down and they get injured, they scrape their knee. So the next thing they do is they go to sleep. They want to forget the bad experience. So similarly, we go to sleep every night because material nature is putting so much pressure on us. If we did not sleep, we become crazy. So the Lord has designed everything wonderfully for us to go back home, back to God. But if we are intelligent, and if we are connected with devotees, by their blessing and by their guidance, we can actually prepare ourselves. And Srila Prabhupada say, one lifetime you give to Krishna. Millions of lifetime you spend in doing so many nonsense, so many things. But now one lifetime you give to Krishna, and you can go back home, back to God. So in other yuga there are different processes of self-realization, but in this yuga it's very simple. Kalerdosani de rajannasti eko mahaguna kirtanad eva krishnasya mutta sangha parambraja, simply by chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So this is a very sublime method and the easiest way. In previous yuga, we had to do so many austerity, we had to learn mantras, or we had to learn worship. But this Kali Yuga, it doesn't matter who we are, what platform, where we come from, what color, what country. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So simply by chanting, congregational chanting of the holy name, that will purify our heart. It'll prepare us. If we develop intense desire to go back to the spiritual world, then Krishna will take us back. It's not that we are qualified, it's not that we are, become a great devotees, but by the blessing of the Lord, He can take us back. So this is Lord Chaitanya's desire. In every town and village, my sound will be heard. So here in Australia, Srila Prabhupada said we can conquer the Australian country just by distributing prasadam. And by doing Sankirtan and by preaching or distributing books. Now there are so many yoga centers. With Maharaj, we have been called in different yoga places to do some preaching. So a lot of Australian people there want to learn yoga, but they think yoga is just some exercise, maybe to lose weight, maybe to become fit, or maybe become peaceful mind. But we can teach them along with that also bhakti yoga. So this is a very simple method to become really happy in life. And we are all looking for happiness. There's no doubt. The plant is looking for happiness. The plant, if you put the plant in the box, you make a hole on one side, the plant will go and search for the sun and grow in that way. So the animals, everybody's looking for happiness. The only problem that our looking for happiness, in between they're destroying this planet. But apart from that, if we become self-realized and we understand we are all sons of God, we are sons of Krishna, and He's our Supreme Father, we could share everything we have in this planet and live a very happy life. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said that this planet could become Vaikuntha. Coming back to Ramayana, it's written in the Ramayana that when Lord Ram was there, even people have a choice not to die. They're extremely happy and everything is being given to them. And so the idea is that in the creation of the Lord, there is no suffering. The suffering is created by us, by our attitude of exploitation. We are trying to exploit the material resources. And we're trying to exploit each other to become happy. But then we become miserable. So the only way we can become happy is to actually surrender to Krishna and participate in the Sankirtan Yajna. Because by participating in this movement, then we can help other people to come in contact with Krishna. And this is the supreme welfare work. So if we really want to be happy, we like to share happiness with other people. Of course, as an expert doctor, we cannot give too much dose at one time or give too less. So we have to accordingly distribute the mercy of the Lord. But people, they're anxiously looking for real happiness. And we have the source of all happiness, Lord Krishna. So we can give this to the people. We can inspire people to chant the holy name. We can inspire people to become happy. But people that have to have a desire to do that. So some people that are not ready, we just give prasadam, we just do kirtan, and by their hearing of the Hare Krishna kirtan, Maha Mantra, by being in contact with devotee, they can also be inspired to inquire about the absolute truth. And that way, they can become happy. So that's the goal of this movement, to us becoming happy and distribute this happiness to everybody else. That is the goal of the Hare Krishna movement. So I'd like to stop here, and I'd like to thank you very much for your wonderful hearing. You didn't fall asleep. And if you have any question, I can try to answer. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Sure.
The Mahatattva, the sum total of intelligence, which is, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned as Hiranmaya,
Yeah.
is the personality Mahavishnu behind it?
I would think so, because everything is coming from Krishna, so who can give intelligence just by observation? When we see the ants or the elephant or the plants, everybody has sort of intelligence how to survive in the material world. Like you see certain animals eat certain type of food. For example, the tiger will not eat our cauliflowers or tomatoes. They only eat meat. That is designed for their body. And the ants will only eat some grain. So likewise, when we see all the species of living entity, when the Lord gives the body, gives the intelligence how to survive in this material world and how to procreate themselves, how to protect themselves. So that comes with the creation of the Lord, with the intelligence which is impregnated into all the living entity according to their desire.
So Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that the whole creation seems to be happening with the Purusha and Prakriti. I was just wondering, what is the role of Lord Brahmaji in this one, in the first creation?
Yeah, Lord Brahmaji is described as the engineer. Like we have engineer who design a building, he maybe not necessarily himself take the bricks and cement and put it together, but by his power given to him by the Lord, in the form of Gayatri mantra, when you hear the sound, he's been given as empowerment to create the living entity, means to put together these different shapes and forms of body. Again, it's all happening according to the desire and design of the Supreme Lord and the desire of the living entity to have such a body to enjoy. So the Brahma is the engineer which takes already the elements and put them together into form by his power given by the Lord. So he doesn't create, the material elements. The material elements, the Mahatattva, everything is there. But he assembled them together. It's like somebody give you metals, engine, and you maybe create a car. But we cannot create metals. We can extract the metal and change the shape. Bricks are created by mud, and we fire them, so they become hard. But that's nothing by the, transformation of the earth and the water and the sun or the fire. So like that, if you go in and analyzing everything, we can see that all the elements, the 24 different elements have been given by the Lord, and Brahma manifests the body of all living entity and manifests the planet, Purbu, Aswatri, different level, and this is all according to the design of the Lord. If there is no living entity like Brahma, then the Lord expands himself to become Brahma. Yes, Mataji.
Last line very popular thought in Krishna consciousness that why we take deity worship different from the pictures. Like, why we think like deity worship is more
Important.
than pictures. Because what I am thinking like Krishna is Krishna, whether he is in picture or he is in deities. So can you please put some highlights so that I
Sure. Actually, Srila Prabhupada explained that the Krishna manifests in the form of picture, in the form of deities, in the form of sound. There are different manifestations of the Lord. So I don't think that one is more important than the other. It's just how you perceive the Lord. The Lord is sitting in your heart. So the Archa Vigraha is the manifestation of the Lord who appear in that form to receive service from the devotees. So it's not that it's more important or less important. Maybe in your house you have a picture of the Panchatattva and you put a garland every day. Maybe you don't have to change the dress because they're always dressed in the picture. But whatever helps you to advance or get closer to the Lord in Krishna consciousness, that will do. In fact, some of the Goswami have deities, some of them they didn't have deities, they just had a japamala. So, different devotee, they worship different deities. But again, we have a temple which is a place where we meet with all the devotees and perform service for the Lord. Let's say, if we put the same deity in the house, then your house becomes a temple, and maybe you have no time to come to the temple anymore, because you have to dress the deity, you have to do the offering. There's a particular pancharatic system by which we offer so many times in the day. We change the clothes every day. We do certain activity every day. So, in your house, the extension, whether it's a picture or deity, is the extension of the temple, is in your house. But you don't worship the deity in your house just like in the temple. But because you have to eat and you have to offer to the Lord, so every day you offer with love and devotion the food, whether it's a picture of Krishna or whether it's a deity. It should not be differentiated. But if you like the deity, you can have a small deities, and like people that have Gaurnitai or they have Jagannath in their house. But the idea is that should not be becoming, how you say, that you put so much energy into that you don't have time to do the other things. So the idea is the expansion of the Lord come in your house. You can take a picture of this deity, for example, put it in your house, and you can serve them in your house. There was a Brahmana who had not deity, but he wanted to cook for the Lord. So every day in meditation, he closed his eyes and he cooked beautiful preparation for the Lord. And one time he put his finger inside the hot, sweet rice, and his finger got burned. So everything can be done also within our conscious mind. So there are different levels. But for us who are practicing Vaidhi Bhakti, so we are regulated in the process of serving the Lord and serving the Vaishnava. So the deity should not become an obstacle and should not be special things. The deity is a manifestation of the Lord which comes. For example, if you go to Pandharpur, have you been in Pandharpur? No. In Pandharpur there is a beautiful deity of the Lord. It's standing like this on a brick. So it's a beautiful pastime of the Lord. But there was one lady which lives very close to the temple, about 300 feet. She has a house there. I forgot her name. But every day she makes buttermilk. And she goes to the temple and offers to Panduranga. That's the only deity in India you can actually go and touch the feet of the Lord and put your head on the Lord's feet. So then when she became old, she said, I'm sorry, my Lord, I cannot come to the temple. I'm very old. I'm not able to walk. My eyes cannot see anymore. Then the Lord came in her dream and said, don't worry. You don't have to go out of your house. I'll manifest here in your courtyard. Boom. Exactly the same deity self-manifested deities there in her house. So she could offer the buttermilk. So the devotee has a relationship with the devotees. And there's an eternal competition. The Lord wants to serve the devotees, and the devotee wants to serve the Lord. So in that relationship, the Lord becomes manifested. Whether it's a picture, whether it's a deity. Like we have so many pastimes, in Orissa, there is Gopinath who stole the kheer. Or we have pastimes where the Lord was the witness. And the devotee say, okay, you are my witness. You have to come with me now and protect me. So the Lord walk all the way, behind the devotees. And you never turn and look at me because otherwise I will stop there. But so the Lord in the form of the deity, or the Lord in the form of the picture, or the Lord in your heart can relate to you if we are able to see Him, if we are sincere, we are honest, we are surrendered. The Lord can help us in progress in spiritual life. The idea of having the deity is that because we cannot see the Lord everywhere. Of course, as we advance, maybe we can see the Lord everywhere, and no problem. Whether you have deity or not deity, it doesn't matter. But in our neophyte stage, we have the temple, so we offer respect. We worship the deity like Lakshmi Narayana. We have regulated system. We bring fruits and flower, and we offer everything with devotion to the Lord. So we can learn to reciprocate with the Lord. Does this answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. But this given a one more question.
Sure, no problem. We have time.
If we are like in temple, we have proper brahmacharis and all to take care of the days.
Yes.
And if we have deities at home and we are not able to take care properly, like not as this is, that's why they say that you have to offer the bhogas 3 times, this and that. So if we are not able to do that properly, is that an offense or we can do as per our capability?
No, there are different standards you can set up yourself. Let's say, you can say, okay, my Lord, I can only offer you morning some fruit and water, and then lunch, whatever we cook, we offer you dinner, I don't know. But each devotee can set up a standard, like I can do once a day the full puja, I can change the dress of the deity in Ekadasi maybe, every 15 days. So different devotees can set up different standards, Somebody like to do it every day. They have a lot of children. The children are engaged. Okay, you change the deity dress. You make a garland, like that, So there are different standards. And according to what you set yourself, you should maintain the standard. You should not go one day you offer everything, one day you don't want, you close the door and you go. No, we should be, because the Lord is not our servant. We want to serve the Lord. So the idea is that whatever standard you set, minimum, start with small and then you can increase. But the idea is that you serve the Lord in the way you desire, and in which is, you are able to do everything nicely. So it's not that if you don't offer 6 times boga or you don't offer 3 arti, the Lord doesn't like you. No, the Lord is reciprocating with everybody accordingly. So you set up yourself a standard of deity worship in your house. But even the deity worship is not necessary, because in Kali Yuga you simply chant the holy name. You can do Harinam Kirtan, you can do Kirtan with your family, and that is sufficient. But if you have a picture of the Lord, so it helps you to remind you when you chant, and you want to offer to the Lord, then you can have deity, you can have picture, it doesn't matter. The idea is that to keep a standard, not to go up and down, So you keep one standard, okay, I will do this for you, my Lord, and you do that. Even at some time, for example, we have in our house, we have Salagram Shila, and if we travel, either we take them with us, or we ask some devotee who have already Salagram Shila, can you please also worship this for us, because we have to go 3 days someplace for the passport or whatever it is, so that is possible. So the standard we set, because the Lord is a person. It's like you invite a friend into your home and say, please come and take lunch with me. But when he comes, you're not there. So what shall he think? He thinks, well, this is not very nice. You invite me for lunch, but you're gone somewhere and do something else. And then you say, oh, sorry, I forgot. That's not very nice. So we are inviting the Lord in our house, so that our whole house becomes purified and becomes, a place where we can live in harmony with Krishna. And so we should respect that relationship. Is it okay? Hare Krishna. Any other questions there? So today we're going to have Abhishek for Shuram, or I see the altar here, I don't know. I'm just asking, I don't know. No. And what is the altar? Somebody's getting married or what?
I think some devotees will bring some deities.
Okay, nice. That's wonderful. So Rama appeared is a perfect king to show to all of us. The Ramayana is famous all over South Asia. If you go to Thailand, you go to Indonesia, all these Southeast Asian countries, this Ramayana is there. So Rama is a perfect king. He came to actually teach how the perfect leader, how the perfect is an expansion of Krishna. And his wonderful personality and wonderful character is very sweet, very heroic. Now we have so many,